something extraordinary going on in Barrie, Ontario. No one seems to know exactly what I'm on.
All right, we're back with another episode, this time with Scott Murray and our very special co-host, Corby. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
I wanted to ask you about one of your acoustic songs. So the song "Hope You're Doing Well." I was listening to it the other day, and it's pretty dark, and it seems quite real as well. I was wondering, is there a story behind that song?
Like a lot of the songs I've written, I'm gonna have to say that one's about me. If that makes any sense, it's sort of like you're standing on like the edge of a pier, watching yourself sail away on a boat, and you're kind of looking at yourself in the distance, and you're like, well, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're all right. So I think it's if it means anything, it's like a well wishing or an SOS kind of out to myself, if that makes any sense.
I think the one that was like stood out for me was "Calling Today."
Okay.
Because like that is a song that I feel like everybody, if you've had a shitty day, you have probably said these words. This is a song that is for you.
And I hope that wherever you are, that you're doing well.
So on your internet profiles, you are a self-proclaimed deadbeat vegan. How did you learn about veganism, and what was it that made you decide to live a cruelty-free lifestyle?
And be a deadbeat.
Yeah.
It's always something that has interested me since I was young. Growing up, I didn't really like the taste and texture of animal foods. So one day, after I was an adult and I was buying my own groceries, I just kind of said, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. And it was a long road. I didn't give up all animal foods right away. But I got there, and the whole deadbeat thing, I think it's just kind of a joke of me making fun of myself. It's like maybe I'm a deadbeat. I can't get anything done. I'm late for everything, but hey, at least I don't eat animals. So
going off of that, writing something that's a little bit more personal to you, is that why you decided to do a solo EP as opposed to use these songs like for a High Dives album?
It kind of seemed like a fun idea. I was sort of tinkering around and writing some just some little acoustic ideas. Nothing was really serious. And then I think what happened was I played an open mic at the Fox Lounge, and I think I might have played one of these songs I was working on. And shortly after that, Corey from Heavy Petter sent me a message, and he says, hey, I record some stuff here and there, and why don't we record some of your acoustic stuff? And I was like, well, that's an interesting question, but I don't have any acoustic stuff. So I ended up writing 5 acoustic songs for that exact reason. And then I ended up going, recording them out in Creemore with my friend Andrew Shropshire. And we have the Night Binge EP. So it was pretty much Corey's fault.
Oh, you're welcome. Although I believe we were drunk at Pooza Fest and I talked you into it. I think so. But
it might have happened as well. Yeah.
Details, both situations, alcohol was involved.
Wake me up and tell me I'm fucking done. I'm tired, I'm sick.
What would be ideally the next step for your solo work? Or for you as an artist, what do you hope is the next step?
I've got a few new ideas I'm tinkering around with. I would like to release another solo effort. I think that would be a lot of fun. And then I would just like to get out there and play. And that was another thing I liked about playing acoustic stuff, is it gave me more opportunities it gave me chances to get on, different kind of bills and mixed in with different artists. And it just kind of created an opportunity for me to play more. So yeah, I'd love to release some new music, and I can't wait to get back out there and play some new songs, play some old songs, play a whole bunch of high dive songs, and just get out and see people, and people I haven't seen in a while, and have some fun.
What is Scott Murray listening to lately? And is there any rad bands that people may not know about you want to give a shout out, or really just anything that you've
I listen to this band called Fiddlehead. They're from the States. I would describe them as like late spring, early summer road trip kind of punk rock. So they're pretty good. Today, I was listening to some Iron Chic and Banner Pilot, some favorite bands of mine. So lately, I'm more kicking it old school, if that makes any sense.
I wanted to ask another question about the high dives. So your first release, you guys did a 6-song EP at the end of 2017 called Maybe I'll Be Okay. And it sounds pretty tight and everything. So I was just curious, like, how long had you guys been together before you recorded that EP?
We were a band for maybe a year. When we started the High Dives, we were all playing in different bands for the first 6 months of it. So we were just kind of getting together when we could. And then some things changed, and it opened up for us to start getting together a whole lot more. But yeah, I think we were only a band about a year before we recorded all those songs.
How'd you get into playing music? Like, maybe even before you were in a band, how'd you just start playing music? And leading off of that is like making the transition into a songwriter. How did you go from perhaps playing guitar, or maybe being in a band as a guitar player to being one of the primary songwriters? And obviously the only songwriter in your solo stuff.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my father played guitar, and there were guitars around the house, so that was kind of how I picked it up. But I didn't really consider myself a songwriter until a few years ago, when I started the High Dives. I'd written a few songs, but I had never really taken it seriously. And then we started the High Dives. I ended up singing more at the beginning. How that happened, I guess it kind of happened out of necessity. But but I was doing it with my two best friends, so it didn't seem as daunting or scary at first, because I'd have some ideas, be like, hey Matt, hey Sean, can you finish this for me? Or the best thing about drummers, and I love drummers, and I wish there were more of them, because so many drummers end up playing in so many different bands. But you could just say to a drummer, like, can you just make this work from here to here? Can you just put this part into the next one, do something like that, and then I don't have to think about it? Awesome. So yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun though.
That I got my shit together like a dumpster fire in bad weather.
If you could alter the space-time continuum to take one of like your favorite songs and write it, record it yourself, what song would it be?
Write it. I would say 100 Resolutions by the Lawrence Arms. That Chris from the Lawrence Arms, his acoustic solo project is called Sundowner, and he does that song acoustic, and it's a doozy. If you're looking for, well, for me anyway, it's really introspective, and it really rings true with me and kind of what goes through my head. So yeah, that would definitely be at 100 Resolutions by the Lawrence Arms. I'd like to just kind of have a call out, a shout out, a thank you to everybody, such as the Team Bayfield folks, and like everyone at Tarantula Tapes, and everyone out there. It's like doing podcasts and pumping out music, and still working hard and trying and getting music out there, and just staying positive, because this has been a really tough year and a bit. So thank you to everybody. Thank you, Richard. Please thank Jillian. Thanks, Corey and Casey from Tarantula Tapes, and everybody else out there that's just giving our ears lots of things to listen to. And it's heartwarming, because it's been tough not having shows and getting to see people that you're used to seeing once a week or whatnot. So thank you.
It's been incredible how well everyone's managed to stay together. You know, some people have just disappeared, but a lot of people have put a really good effort into trying to keep the community alive. You know, you mentioned, you know, us doing Tarantula Tapes, you know, the String Sans Wings, you've played on that a couple times. I've tuned in multiple times, even when you're not playing. You know, they're doing great things, keeping that community going, but it's been expanded because they're now streaming online. Everybody's able to tune in, even if you don't live in Van Cleek Hill, right? And you know, Michael Krusty doing his podcast, you know, of course, Richard and Jillian doing this, and so on and so on and so on. It's incredible how many people are making an effort. And then, you know, of course, all the artists are flocking to it because they just want to stay involved and connected with the community, the fans, etc. It's been a rough year, but it's awesome to see that the community is still strong and together.
Yeah, I think if anything positive comes out of this, I hope, and I'm sure there will be more online stuff, because it is kind of cool to have something, you know, in your Facebook calendar or whatever, where you can, because you might not always feel like going out to a show, or, you know, leaving your house, you're not feeling well or whatever. So I do think that's kind of cool that there is more. Well, it's a necessity for it now, but the whole live streaming and online stuff, I think that's kind of cool, and I hope some of it sticks around. But I'd really like to get back into a venue and playing music. It doesn't have to be me; it can be anybody playing music. I will go. I'll go to open mic night 7 nights a week for the first week, as soon as we have shows back.
You gotta get practiced up.
And we always ask this question. It's becoming like more and more of like a stumper for people. But once we can get back into a venue and you're able to, you know, play a bill, who's going to be on that bill with you?
I would love a show that has the High Dives, Heavy Petter, and Stuck Out Here. I think that would be a really cool show. I look up to, you know, everybody in both of those bands. I've been a huge fan of Stuck Out Here for a long time, and Heavy Petter is pretty good too. So I think that'll be. I think if I could design a bill, and, you know, there's 3 Ontario bands there, so yeah, that would be definitely my pick right there.
Would you mind making up the spare bed? I need a place to live for my final years. You've been so kind, answering so late.
As we start to say goodbye here, Scott, and I'll open this up to Core as well. For people who are at home and they need some kick-ass music to listen to, what local bands should they be checking out?
I would like to definitely mention Witch Island. That album is a lot of fun, and it's definitely got some pick-me-up tunes on there. So I definitely say Witch Island for sure.
Casey and I just had that blasting in the car, do a sing along on the weekend. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, good pick. I'll second that one.
I feel like I have to say it. If you have not listened to Night Binge, or you haven't listened to Sit and Drink, go check them out now, especially now that it's getting warmer and it's nicer outside. And I think Sit and Drink, the song itself, has like so many of like the local heavy hitters on it singing backup. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of reflections.
Still good. We know what you're shelling.
Spelling Murray stuff.
So the first EP of who knows how many.
Yeah, hopefully Murray will crank out some more. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'm working on it slowly but surely. We'll get there.
So, well, as we say goodbye, thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much, Core, for being on this episode. I hope 2021 treats us all a little bit better, and I look forward to being in a nasty little club together again.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you guys. Thank you so much, Richard. See you, Corey.
Thank you, Core. Thank you, Scott. Take care, guys.
All right.